$15 an hour. Is that going to directly help you? Let me know down below. What's your thoughts on this plan? This plan is not only going to go over the $15 an hour, but how he plans to not only roll that out with the stimulus, but also recover that money as well. It's also going to go into a couple other details called the American Rescue Plan, including that $15 an hour. I am not going to side with Democratic or Republican. I'm going to take it down the middle. I'm going to give it to you directly the way that he said it in the speech. I took cliff notes. Here we go.
Welcome to the Smack Fest, the beat down. The SWAT team is here on another beautiful day of shutting the week down.
All right, so the first thing he wants to do is raise minimum wage to $15 an hour. This is across the board, and he did say something in there. He said at least $15 an hour. So expect it to be at least 15, and it might get pushed up in the near future. Possibly. 900,000 people filed for unemployment just as of yesterday, according to President Biden. Also, the rollout recovery plan, he wants to get this out ASAP. He doesn't want to be beating around the bush. He wants to get this in your hands like now. He wants to get this $15 an hour done like now. So calling it a rescue and recovery. So, and he kind of rolled through that very quickly, but the rescue we all understand. He's giving people money. He's raising, the minimum wage. But the recovery is most likely going to be in the form of his new tax plan. I've looked at it, and the numbers are basically up across the board. I'll let you look at that yourself if you care about that. So, but look in your tax bracket. Some went from 28% or 21% to 28%. Some went from like in the 20s to the 40s. So some increases are very significant. Some are rather insignificant. Will provide rent to many landlords. Being that I'm a landlord myself, this was super cool. However, he did mention something in there. He said small mom and pop landlords. So I don't know what his definition of small is, whether it's like 10 units or 50 units, or it has to do with a tax monetary amount. I'm not really sure. So I'm hoping that I might fall in there just in case, I have some more tenants running on some hard times, because I am working with my tenants right now. I understand I'm human. I don't want anybody to be on the streets. So I am taking a hit myself along with people or my tenants that are losing their job. We're talking, we're working it out together. So if you're listening to this and you're my tenant, thank you, and I'm willing to work with you, and we'll make it through this together, because I'm having to pay the bills even though I'm not getting the rent, and I know how this is working, because when you can't pay the bills, I have trouble paying the bills, and it's kind of a flow-through system, because the bank right now is not letting me not pay the bills, basically, unless I want to take forbearance, and they already told me if I do, I'm ineligible for loans, blah, 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 and basically I can't continue my business. So all right, evictions have been paused. So the end of September 2021, they will provide flexible grants. This economy American Rescue Plan will provide flexible grants to small businesses and emergency funding. If he can actually roll that out to small businesses and the money actually gets to them, that could make a difference on some small businesses. Small businesses account for half of America's workforce, guys. They literally are half of people out there work for a small business, and they're getting their money from a small business. So this is a huge, huge deal for this. Low-cost capital loans to help small businesses. That's awesome, and I'm totally looking forward to seeing if I can buy properties with this, or how I can take advantage of providing more low-cost income housing for people, because the more properties that I can get out there and I can help low-income families, the better I sleep at night, because that's my goal. There's enough nice, expensive stuff out there. There needs to be more affordable housing, and that's what I personally try to provide. And this morning I made another offer in a really nice city, and I'm going to price the rent lower than any other property in that neighborhood, and this one is a nicer one as well. So it's just something that I try to do to help out people. But all right, guys, so at least $15 an hour. He thinks that this will bring people above the poverty line. He's saying that when people are working 40 hours a week at the current level, that it actually is keeping them under the poverty line in America. Will help with childcare costs as well. So if you're a single mom, this is the example he gave. This will actually help you provide childcare costs, and I assume that there will be like a split cost between the government, and I'm not really sure yet, but they're going to help with childcare costs. definitely a necessity for some, and it's would definitely be to benefit for, well, just about everybody, really. Should lift 12 million Americans out of poverty by doing this, is what he says. He also said that if this plan rolls out, it'll reduce the black community's poverty by a third, 33%, and 40% of poverty will be reduced in Hispanic communities as well. He wants to build back better plan, is kind of the other version of the rescue and recovery plan. He also called the build back better plan. He's also going to focus on clean energy. One thing in particular, since I'm a big electric car guy, don't beat me up if you don't like him, but I had a Tesla, I loved it, is he's going to be rolling out more charging stations, not just for Tesla, but like electric cars in general for the masses, so people can, learn to adopt better with them. Basically make them as available as gas stations, give or take. Electrify America, check it out if you're interested in that. Okay, so he also wants to pause interest on student loan payments through September. Now, he said two things that were a little bit contradicting, a little bit confusing, but it sounds like you have to still make your payments through the September and obviously keep going, but it just pauses the interest alone. So the interest won't be recurring. Is that a word? Recurring through September. Okay, so basically, like if you're paying on student loans and you're not really affected right now, if you pay even more right now, you're not getting the interest hit on you as well. So it'll help you speed that up. Totally cool if you're able to take advantage of that. But nevertheless, you get a little bit of relief because at least your student loan debt isn't piling and piling and piling up if you can't pay it right now. Okay, so he also says 1 in 7 American houses right now said they do not have enough food to eat. He said that currently comes out to 30 million Americans. He also said that he will provide food for poverty and hard-hit families with food rations as well. This is another part of the plan. This plan has a lot. It's like a tree with a lot of branches, basically. There's a lot to this plan, and I don't know the whole cost on this plan, but I'm sure it's somewhere on the internet. But I imagine this is in the many of trillions potentially. If you're going to be giving out this much money and paying people's rent and giving them money and giving them grants and giving business loans, I mean, this is probably going to be one of the biggest rollouts probably ever in the world. Also, this will allow. Oh, this was a big one. I had to actually listen to this twice to make sure I heard this right. This will allow you, if you're filing for unemployment and you're currently getting unemployment right now, to turn down a job for health reasons if you have an underlying health condition and still be able to keep your unemployment benefits. Now, he did say this was had to be signed off by the Labor Department judgment. So basically, if you have an underlying health condition, you find a job, you get hired, except for you'll probably get COVID if you get that job, and you can prove it to the Labor Department, and they judge it saying, yeah, you would probably get COVID in that case, you could actually turn down that job and still pull unemployment. Basically, you don't have to say, I'm going to starve to death or get COVID, if that's, a scenario that you're potentially looking at. Okay, so quick thoughts here. Biden believes that, and I wrote down just a couple of them, this will recover the economy to full steam in 1 year. This also will overwhelm the emergency services and shelters if the evictions are allowed, and this will help small businesses. So I want to know, what are your thoughts? I wrote down 3 questions, guys. Let me know, will this plan bring more jobs? Will this plan hurt small businesses? And how will this plan affect you? Guys, let me know in the comments if you made it all the way through. Smash that like button, and until next time, I will see you on the next one. Hey.